Well, howdy, Crossroads, and happy Thursday. I'm 25 News Now meteorologist Parker Cox, looking at your forecast for the next few days because I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard we have a cool front that's going to be blown through over the next 24 hours, actually. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. But I want to start off today's Weather Live with a quick little apology. I know I haven't been on these Weather Lives a lot lately. I've had a lot of breaking news I've actually had to cover lately and a few other things I need to take care of. But for the next several days, I should be back on these Weather Lives, so thank you for your patience. But until we get into next week, let's take a look at what we get to work with. So starting out with your Thursday, you heard me say it, we have a cool front. And we've been talking about it all week long, and it's finally here, and it's technically the actual frontal bit of the front will be here Thursday night into Friday morning, and that's going to be noticed when the humidity really plummets, because you're going to see the humidity for your Thursday not looking too bad with the northeasterly wind blowing in. You know, the front will be kind of blowing in through pretty much throughout the entire day, but the main bit of it will be here overnight Thursday night into Friday morning. Now you can see humidity dropping down to a lovely 30 to 40% range for Thursday afternoon, which is much different than our normal occasional 50 to 70% range humidity. And you can see, just as I said, the main bit of it will be here Friday morning, and that's going to plummet our humidity down to the 20 to 30% range for Friday afternoon. So I might almost recommend no outdoor burning with that kind of weather because we haven't had any rain in a while. And, well, that's going to be a bit dry. Luckily, we're not going to be breezy, so that'll help with any kind of possible fire weather. But anything that might help with possible fire weather would be rain chances, and unfortunately, that is going to be escaping us because you're going to see nothing but, well, I guess a lot of sunshine on your future tracker here. Here's 3 p.m. Thursday afternoon. Do you see any rain? Well, I see a little bit down here in the southwest, but not in our counties. Looking pretty sunny out there, y'all. So make sure you got your sunglasses packed for Thursday and Friday and all the way to next week, because I'm just going to press play. Here's Thursday, 6 p.m., going into the evening and overnight. Midnight, Friday morning, looking pretty clear out there. All the way into Friday, into Saturday, Sunday, all the way through next week. We're going to be looking pretty clear and sunny out there, y'all. So make sure that you got your sunglasses packed for the afternoons, because that beaming Texas sun, it will heat us up just a little bit, even with a front blowing through. I call it a front because temperatures technically are dropping a few degrees than what it was on Wednesday. Wednesday we were in the mid-90s. Thursday we're looking for highs in the low 90s, most of us. Possibly mid-90s in our western counties where the valley is heating us up a little bit more. But low temperatures, if you're looking for good news, I know that does sound a little hot. Low temperatures, here's the good news. We're dropping back into the 60s, y'all. Get excited. We're looking for mid and upper 60s for Friday morning or your Thursday night. And then for Friday afternoon, we'll see high temperatures rise back to about what they were for today. For Thursday, for Friday highs, looking at highs in the low 90s. Some might be in the mid 90s again for western counties. But again, if you don't like the heat, we cool down even more with more clear skies for Friday night into Saturday morning. Yes, folks, your eyes do not deceive you. We're looking at lows dropping to the low 60s, possibly even upper 50s in our northern counties. We're talking about our friends in Hallettsville, y'all, and Gonzales. Y'all might maybe see 59, 58 degrees for Saturday morning. Wouldn't that be exciting? Now, if that's not exciting, how about a real fall cold front? Now, I've had so many folks come up to me, like even out in public, at the grocery store, at the gas station, say, Parker, when is the next real fall cold front? When is it going to actually feel like fall? Because we've been in the 90s. And believe it or not, we've actually been in the 90s for 50 days straight. 50 consecutive days. We've been 90 or above that, which we're actually coming up on a record for that streak. But we'll talk about that another time, because if you're ready for real fall weather, I have the solution for you. You can actually see the cool front that's blowing through us for today. All that thanks to a low-pressure system that came out of Canada earlier this week, way up there in the northeast. But if we zoom way out west, across the Pacific, we're talking over Japan. Here's Japan in the West Pacific. Here's China, and here's Russia. And over here is going to be Alaska. You see this big old swirling low-pressure system right here. And then you see this typhoon. This is actually Super Typhoon Halong, which was a Category 4 yesterday. I'm not sure if it's still a Category 4 or not, but you see this line of clouds right here, right there. That is the front that is coming our way, and I'm going to go ahead and call it. I've been calling it since actually Monday or Tuesday. I've been saying this since Monday or Tuesday. This front will be here between October 18th and the 25th. Between that week, October 18th and the 25th. Let me repeat that. 18th and 25th. We are expecting a big fall cold front to be passing through the entire continental United States, even us in the crossroads. And that should drop us into some real fall-like conditions with high temperatures probably in the 70s, lows probably in the 50s, maybe 40s. We'll look at that much more into next week, because as you can see going into next week, we're not looking like that at all. We're still looking kind of hot, highs in the low 90s all the way into next week, with the silver lining being that low temperatures are sticking in the 60s. So thank y'all for joining me for this Thursday's Weather Live. Y'all take care and have a fantastic rest of your Tamale Thursday, y'all. And until I see y'all for Friday, thanks for gigging me, y'all. Enjoy the cooler nights.